So it's New Music Friday on BBC Radio 1, and we thought we would come here to Los Angeles to see this guy to get the first play of his brand new single. Calvin lives on top of a mountain, which is beautiful when you get up there, but before you get up there, you have to walk up there. Calvin has Samantha drive him in a buggy. I have legs and no strength whatsoever in my thighs. Beautiful view. Like what again? This is a pretty beautiful place to be, Calvin.
Thank you.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
This is a nice view. Does this ever tire looking out over something like that every
This
night?
feels amazing. It's good. I've got my studio right here. So when I get annoyed with progress,
Yeah.
I can step out and I can look at things like trees
Then have a look at that tree and think.
and grass, listen to the water, listen to the birds,
Yeah.
and then go back up.
And just write a hit.
Try to.
So as we've seen the house, not too shabby. I feel like we could relocate all of Radio 1's output to here. But we're going to go in the studio and have a big old chat with Calvin. Good evening, Calvin.
Good morning.
Good morning
Yes.
/ good evening. So today's a big day.
Yeah.
Everyone around the world is ready for this. There's been a lot of hype about this week. How is it for you? How is a day like today for you?
Very exciting. You know, I've been playing this in my car for too long.
Right.
I've not been able to tell anyone that it exists. We try to keep it secret until literally 2 days ago. So it's exciting.
How hard is it to keep that secret? Because, like, you know, Rihanna's got a crew. She'll say, I always work with Calvin. You'll probably tell people, like, there's people in the office. How does that not get out?
You just try not to speak to anybody for a while.
Cool.
And I'm good at that. really good at that. It helps that I'm kind of isolated here, you know, by choice. And I've had all this other stuff going on. I've had other people in the studio and other tracks going on that I could talk about other stuff, you know?
You're not, like, obsessed with Rihanna and this entire song. He's got enough stuff going on.
I'm fully obsessed with this song. Don't get me wrong, but I've had other things going on. I've been with John Newman, I've been with Dizzy, and that's enough to let people know I'm doing that stuff. Well, really, I've got the ace card just kind of tucked in my pocket there.
Rihanna thing that's gonna be happening. And do you feel that excitement? Because, like, it sounded so exciting from the second Scott kicked off this morning. It's been exciting all day on Twitter today. Do you get a sense of how excited everyone is for this?
I really just get a sense of how excited I am, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. It's hard to gauge anybody else's feelings. I mean, this is unbelievable as well. The fact that everybody's here in my studio to do this. Like, I know that a lot of people are definitely going to hear it. Whereas in previous years, I wasn't sure if anyone was even going to hear my tunes. You know what I mean? But now, I'm 100% certain that some people are going to hear this.
This is definitely on Radio 1.
At least 10 people
At
in
least
this room.
10 people.
So, honestly, like, this is awesome.
Yeah, and I saw that John Newman tweeted saying it was like, what was his quote? Oh, I have his quote here. It was one of the best pop songs ever.
Ever,
is
he
what
said.
John Newman
He said ever.
Ever.
John was here just last week, actually. And he kept asking for the rewind when I was playing it.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a great sign. He's a lovely lad.
And you worked with Rihanna, of course, on it, and that was super exciting when that got announced this week. What is it that's so good about going to work with her?
She's got the iconic voice, hasn't she? She's an icon within herself. Just like any word that comes out of her voice is like, straight away. Like the first time I heard her sing We Found Love, I'd listened to the guide vocal for so long. I'd like lived with it, and I thought, well, it can't get any better than this, even if it is Rihanna.
Yeah.
And then I heard Rihanna, and it was like I was already listening to the radio. It was like I was listening to the top 40. It was number one. I was like, her voice is out of control. The tone, how distinctive it is, the way she carries it, like every little phrase, little enunciation. It's no one like her.
Yeah. So effortless and real with her, I think.
Yeah, but like stylistically as well, it's just like, she can't be touched.
Does she like come in here and do it? Is this where
She didn't come here.
She didn't come in here?
She was actually on tour when she recorded it, so
Right.
we did it in New York.
Right. And is it quite not easy, but I mean, like, if she's so great like that, like, how is it in the working environment with her? Is she quite easy to work with? Is it a one-take wonder? Is she...
It's just relaxed.
Right.
She's one of the few people that'll stay in the studio until it's done.
Right.
She won't call it and be like, I'll be back tomorrow. We went until like 8 a.m.
Wow.
on this one.
Wow.
And like when she's in, she wants to get it finished.
The other thing I like about her, like when she's been on the show and we've interviewed her before, she is fun.
Yeah.
Is that hard though? Because essentially you do want to have a great time with Rihanna, but also you're at work and the clock's ticking. Is it quite distracting? Is she as fun as she always seems in the studio? Or does she get like her work head on?
She does get her work head on. Yeah. Actually, most of the time that I've seen her, she's like that.
Right.
Until we did Coachella.
Yes.
The other week.
Uh-huh.
And she was like super fun.
Yeah.
She was on like a completely different vibe.
Not working there.
Nah.
You can't work at a festival.
Nah.
You had to. You were headlining.
Kinda, but I mean, no, she come out and she sung the song.
Yeah.
But the vibe was awesome. She's a lot of fun.
So we are here. We are in Los Angeles. We're in the home of Calvin Harris, and we are about to hit play on Calvin's brand new track with Rihanna.
Nick, I'm excited, man.
I'm excited, Calvin.
I'm excited.
Should we do this? Do you want to
Can
introduce
we?
it?
Hi, Radio 1. This is Calvin
You don't
Harris.
have to read
I've
that
got a
thing.
script.
No, don't read the script.
Let me read my script.
Okay.
Which I've been handed. I didn't write this myself.
In your best reading voice, come on.
Hi, this is Calvin Harris here, and this is my brand new track. This is What You Came For with Rihanna on BBC Radio 1. Radio 1, Radio 1.
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
Brand new stuff, Calvin Harris and Rihanna on BBC Radio 1. That sounds like a banger, doesn't it?
That sounds good to me.
It makes me want to sack this interview off and go out raving.
Yeah!
Let's do it! But no, that sounded wicked, that man.
Thanks, dude.
What happens now? Does your phone go crazy? Like when you release a song like that to the world, does everyone start messaging you and texting you?
I turn my phone off and I go to bed.
I'll leave it out. Do you?
No, I don't. I compulsively check Twitter for about a week.
Do you actually do that?
Yeah.
Somewhere in between. Do you check Twitter?
Yeah, some of them.
Do you know what? We're going to do some real live Twitter checking right
Let's
now
do
to
it.
see the reaction. Rihanna has been on. Not the Rihanna, unfortunately. She doesn't tweet me much. But another Rihanna has been on saying, I love this song featuring Calvin. Just perfect, this. Absolute dynamite, officially song of the summer.
Amazing.
It does sound like the summer, that record, doesn't it?
If you're telling me that, then I'm going to go with whatever you're saying as long as it's positive.
Let's see what else people are saying. Lauren says, this is definitely one of those songs that's going to be number one for weeks.
Wow.
When you're like, trying to figure out what you consider success, is like, what do you consider success? Is it like a number one, or if it gets played on the radio, or if you love it, or?
I mean, getting played on the radio is amazing.
Uh-huh.
It doing well in the charts is amazing. But it's hard to quantify how it's had an effect on real people without playing it live.
Yeah.
Or playing it out in front of actual real life people. And then you get to see, who's like singing the lyrics, who knows the words, who's crying, who's getting emotional. And that's when it hits you. Mm-hmm. Like there's songs that I thought wouldn't be that big in certain places, and then it's just like, it's blown me away. Like I did a tune with Example that was massive in Brazil. And I had no idea until I got to Brazil. And I played it as biggest tune of the night. I was like, what? Like I'm not saying it's a bad tune. I'm saying like it was.
You were like, this? Whoa.
But you know what I mean? Just like playing something in front of real people, you're like, oh, okay, this had an actual effect on them.
Yeah.
They love this. That can't replace any like amount of statistics or charts.
Yeah. Do you know when you've made a song, like you mentioned that you listened to this a lot when you were driving around.
Yeah.
Do you know like instantly if it's a hit? Or do you work at it until it's a hit?
When I first did the little thing with this track was it's the big build and then everything kind of almost shrinks down in the drop. Mm-hmm. And when I first did that, I filtered everything down, just had the little vocal thing. I was like, oh, it's lovely that.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that was going to be the main thing. I just thought that it sounded cool to me.
Yeah.
I can't second guess people's opinions. I can just do something that I'm proud of and that I love and hope that I've got a gauge on what people like still.
Yeah.
That's really all I can
Yeah,
do.
because if you're not, you're kind of...
Yeah, well, if I'm not, I'll soon find out. But for now, at least, I know that I'm making the best music that
Yeah.
I can, and I'm ticking all the boxes I want to be ticked. So, I mean, it's really up to the people.
No matter the genre, really, you've got to just make stuff you like, because you can't try and like, oh, I'll make this because people will like it, because then that's when you mess up.
Everybody knows when you're doing that as well. Like, you see people who are trying to get on the radio or trying to pursue a certain style, even within dance music, that they're not comfortable with or they don't know anything about. It's just like, play your strengths, do you know what I mean? I love songs, I love writing songs, and I love instruments. That's what I do best, I think. So that's what I continue to do.
What happens like when you've made it? I was thinking this before. Like, obviously Rihanna's come into the studio and recorded it, and she's heard it. Do you have to like call her and be like, "Is this all right, Rihanna?"
I played it to her for the first time at Coachella.
Oh, really?
She heard it for the first time 2 weeks ago. I've been working on it for months.
And then what sort of situation is that? Do you sit her down, or does she listen on a
trailer,
phone? Or?
it was me, her, and a manager, just three of us. In the trailer at Coachella, I had a little monitor put in, and I just blasted it out for a couple of times.
And what was the vibe?
She was like, "This is sick."
She's like, "This is sick. Let's roll this out."
Yeah, it was the first time anything's happened like that as well with me, when I sit with the artist and I'm kind of nervous to play it to her, because like I changed so many bits from when she heard it, even like musically. I'll never forget that, actually, sitting in the trailer with her playing it and seeing the vibe hitting her, and she was into it. I was
We've got it.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Have you ever had it the other way around, where you've worked with an artist and maybe not necessarily like you playing it back where it's finished, but if you've been in the studio with someone and you're there and you're like, this is not going to work.
Not going to happen.
You don't have to name names, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely happened.
Yeah.
I think more in the early days, because in the early days, I was working with absolutely anyone that wanted to work with me. And that's never a good way to go. I mean, you've got to learn how to do this, but it's not happened for a while, because I know the people that I work with, either I love their music beforehand and I know they're amazing, or I know them from before, like, say, John or Dizzy or Ellie, you know? So I know it's going to be good.
So what happens when you're out, you're in LA, you're out and you see someone who you're like, oh my God, they've gone off the boil a little bit, and they're like, Calvin, make me a song. Does that ever happen?
Nah, that actually never happens.
Does it not?
I think on the whole, people are quite self-aware.
Right. They know they're rubbish.
On the whole. Nah, but I can't say that's ever happened. And you know what? Even if they are slightly off the boil, I'll still speak to them and maybe work with them. Like if it's someone I worked with before, and if I loved them and I love their style, I'll always work with them. If I've got an idea for someone to sing this song and I've got the concept and everything, I would love to do it, no matter who it is.
Is there anyone out there that you've not yet worked with that you're like, I'd love to go to work with them? Maybe like a friend or someone that you're a fan of?
I wouldn't really like to say, because it might happen. And then where's the surprise?
Yeah. We're about to play new Beyonce because she had a new record. Have you got into it? Have you listened to it yet?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play some new Beyonce right now. What
Which
about
one?
Don't Hurt Yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
All Night's my favorite.
Yeah. I love Hold Up.
Yep.
Track number 2.
All Night is the one for me. Diplo.
But what about like working with her? Has she ever like called you up and been like, "Hey, let's do a song together"?
She has never called me up and said that. No, no.
I don't know if she starts the conversations with, "Hey,
I've met her once in my whole life, so it's not the sort of thing that would feasibly happen. You know, her to call me like that. But you know, it's just like you can never rule anything out. It's the strangest things happen, and it's really just, if people are on all these different wavelengths, if at one time you cross and you're in the same zone and you want to do the same sort of track, it can happen. Like, I'm living proof. Rihanna did a track with me 5 years ago, and I hardly did anything 5 years ago. I had like songs that I was singing on myself, and then suddenly Rihanna was into this one song, We Found Love. And then from there, a lot of people wanted to work with me after that. But you just never know what stages, especially an artist like Beyonce, is going to go through and come around, and you can't rule it out.
It's funny that you mentioned Diplo, because I saw him last weekend, because Calvin was out here headlining a festival, Coachella, which is a huge festival out here. And he was on like a couple of hours before you.
Yes.
And we were talking about the fact that I was going to be interviewing you. And I said, here's a good question then to ask Calvin. Your pals, you've worked together and stuff, and he's in the same field. I thought he'll give me a really good question that I can ask Calvin in this interview. So he texted me this morning, 2 questions.
Okay.
Right, he said, I've got 2 questions.
All right.
Question number 1 is, how expensive was your ab wheel?
That was $19.95 in dollars.
Right.
So actually quite cheap.
Okay. Question number 2. Like, I thought he was going to give me questions like, what is it like working in such thing? Like, this is the level we're
we
going
go
at.
to the same gym.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, he's trying to figure it all out. Do you know what I mean? I told him to get this ab wheel, you know, that comes on like JML at 1 a.m. The ab wheel, it works one. It doesn't really.
Question number 2, and he says that this is a legit question. Please ask Calvin Harris for me why Rihanna won't text me back.
She won't text me back either.
What's wrong with her?
Aye, she's just chilling. I'm not sure if she's even got a phone sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's fine. It's Rihanna.
She's living.
It's Rihanna.
Yeah, she's
Come on.
very present.
She's in the moment.
Question number 2 is from someone else that you've collaborated with, the lovely, wonderful girls from Haim.
Oh, yeah.
Currently in the studio.
Yes.
They're working. They sent photographic evidence of them working in the studio. So I'm thinking, again, this is going to be another great musical question, right?
Yeah, it's
There they
unlikely,
are.
isn't it?
They're working hard.
Not from them.
They said, this took us a lot of thought.
Okay.
We want to know from Calvin, who we've collaborated with before and we love, which one of us would you want to go shopping with the most?
Well, it depends what we're buying.
It's a great point.
If you're going out for something sensible like food, it'd be Danielle.
Right.
She's quite motherly. She's the most mature, let's say.
She won't be letting you throw random things in the trolley.
No.
No.
Probably maybe Alana. She's funny.
Yeah.
She's just funny.
Uh-huh.
She just makes you laugh. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing.
Shopping for anything.
Shopping.
Ab roller.
Aye.
Anything.
Anything.
Next up, Ellie Goulding's been on.
Wow.
Ellie Goulding has a question for you.
Fantastic.
Now, initially, she thought she was going to turn up and come in here and go, surprise, but she's not in this state. So she's just sent in a question, and she says...
How disappointing.
I know, it was going to be a surprise. It's just me instead. She says, he's been very secretive with me.
What does that mean?
That's what she said. I don't know. So she said, so this is a legit A&R question for live radio.
Oh, God.
Can you ask him when our next song is going to be ready/out?
I mean...
That's what she said.
That's insane. She did record a vocal for me.
Right.
But there's no hook at the moment to that track, so it's kind of hard to say.
Right.
I think she needs to probably get back in order to finish it. You know, I can't just conjure up something now. No, I could sing
a
it
magician, Ellie.
myself, but I mean, I'm not trying to do it especially for you, Kylie and Jason duet. Do you know what I mean? Hard to say, Ellie. I'm sorry. But if any queries, feel free to text me direct rather than do it live on Radio 1.
But if you could get a hook and get back to us, we'll get it finished.
That'd be a great start.
Right, we have some questions from the loyal listeners of Radio 1. They're going to magically appear into the ears of you, Calvin.
Amazing.
Answer when you hear them. First up is a question from Kerry in Portsmouth.
Hi, Calvin. Really excited about the new tune with Rihanna today. I'm Kerry from Portsmouth. Just got a question for you. Out of all the artists that you've worked with, who's been the most inspirational to you? Thank you. Bye.
Interesting.
Thank you, Kerry.
I'm going to say John Newman.
And why? Why is that?
He's just got a northern charm whereby he can say something to you, you take it on board, and you become a better person.
Is he listening right now?
Yeah. The most inspirational man I know,
Good.
John Newman.
He's a great guy.
He's an amazing guy, and he's got some great tunes coming up.
Has he?
Yeah, because I did them. Nah, not just because I did them, but I did amazing.
But mainly like 90%. Yeah.
He's quality though. I love him.
Right, next question. Luke in Sheffield. Hello.
Calvin, it's Luke here from Sheffield. Massive fan of your work and can't wait for the new stuff.
Massive
Just a
fan
quick
of you.
question to clear some stuff up. In all seriousness, have you ever actually made a bad tune? Cheers.
Just to clear some stuff up.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've made plenty. If you got my first album, you want to take a listen to that, mate.
What about, do you remember like doing your first song? Do you remember what it was? Like when you were young, when you were little? Do you remember like writing a song?
Mate, I've got all of them.
Have you?
And I've got all of the demo rejection letters as well, ever since I was 15.
No way.
Yeah, I got them from Defected, who is still a label, who are amazing. Azuli, Positiva, all them dance labels,
Yeah.
you know, from like 1998 to 2000. Got all the letters. They all say the same thing. Thank you for you, demo. The sound we found to be very good, but is not for us at this time. Keep on producing, and I'm sure we will work together very, very soon. All the labels say the same thing.
I love that.
But having said that, imagine sending a demo now. You wouldn't get a letter back
No.
with like a pack of vinyl, would you? So
No way.
shout out Defected and all those other labels for actually responding to me.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Do you know what? I've got rejection letters from Radio 1. when I was asking to be an intern there and stuff.
That's the sort of thing you need to frame, I think.
Yeah, my mum gave it me for Christmas, my main present.
That's cool, though.
Next up, Jackie's been on in Scotland. Hello, Jackie.
Hi Calvin, big fan. Jacqueline Barry here from Scotland. Bellhouston Park last summer was amazing. Thanks very much. My question for you is, now you live in America, is there anything from Scotland that you miss? And do you get anything sent from home to you?
There's nothing of material value that I miss, but I watch a Scottish comedian called Limmy on YouTube a lot. I try and do it once a week, and it just retains the Scottishness within me.
Yeah.
I'm only half Scottish to start with, and it's important so that it's not all sucked out of me in America to retain some of it. So by listening to Limmy, who is the most Scottish comedian I know, and he's amazing as well, he's so funny. I listen to that, listen to him.
Chris has been on. Hi, Chris. What's your question?
Chris here from Essex. Big fan. Being a superstar DJ, you probably don't have a lot of time to relax. But when you do, I was just wondering what your idea is of a perfect Sunday.
Oh, wow.
That is a good question.
That's fantastic. A perfect Sunday. So I guess it would be, I find the studio relaxing. It's usually sunny. I like to play, we've discussed the table tennis. I like to do a bit of that. I like to get in the sun. The sun is very good for you. Vitamin D, Nick. Gives you energy. So I like to do that. I don't really have any hobbies. This is my main problem in life. And it's not a big one. Is that my hobby was music, and then my hobby became my job.
Does it ever feel like a job?
No. People ask you, what do you do to wind down? I'm like, well, I just make music because it's fun. Like, nah, but do you not fish or, play sports or, anything? Do you not do anything? I'm like, nah, I don't.
Do you know what? I had on the way here a security question when I got to America, and they were like trying to make a conversation with me. And he said, what are your hobbies? And I said, I don't have any.
None.
And he said, no, what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, he thought I didn't understand the word hobby.
Yeah.
And I said, nothing. And he's like, what do you do in your spare time? And I was like, Twitter. And he was like, okay, thank you, welcome to America. And I was like, that is so sad.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? Sit on Twitter?
2016,
Snapchat.
mate. It's disgusting.
Literally, that is it. Okay, we have our final question.
Fantastic.
This is from Scott in Glasgow.
I'm a big fan of you, Calvin. You're an amazing producer, and I know that you play in the biggest and top clubs in the whole of the world. But have you ever been knocked back from a club as a normal punter?
It's a good question. It's a good question, and the answer would be yes. It was Chancers in Dumfries for having the wrong shoes in 2001.
Man.
It was fair cop. I had the wrong shoes on.
I hate that rule. Can't you end that now? As like a man of power in dance music.
I think it's about a mental attitude that when you have fancy shoes on, you're less likely to cause trouble, like in your mind.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? If you go into a place and you're dressed with trainers and jeans, a t-shirt and all that, you're kind of setting yourself up to cause trouble. If you're there in your nice shiny shirt, you've got, your shiny shoes and all that on, you're probably going to be a bit more respectable in the club. That's my theory.
If you've got a brogue on, you're going to hold it down.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's literally something that I just thought of then.
I'm concerned that you're wearing trainers right now. He might go crazy at any moment, guys.
They're very clean, though.
Yeah, they're very clean. They're very perfect, those ones. So what's the plan then for the rest of the year? Now that we've heard this new record, we know that you're going to be at T, going to be at Wireless, going to be at Creamfields.
Yes.
Obviously, we only heard this today, but when's the next track happening? When's the album going to be happening?
The next tune that's coming out, I'll say this. The next tune that's coming out is a Dizzy Rascal tune.
Yes.
It's Dizzy Rascal and Me. And I love it so much.
Again, like Rihanna, like he is like, you instantly know it's him, like so distinctive.
I had a beat and I could just imagine him on it for so long. And then he was in LA and I was like, dude, come over. He came over, he did it. I was like, this is just, I persuaded him to release it and now he's into it.
Right.
And I know that like everyone that I played it to is like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm excited for it to come out. I'm excited for him to be hopefully, back on the radio and just doing his thing, because he's the best. He's just the best.
I mean, he was, when that first album, Behind the Corner, came out, I remember that was the first record that I didn't get from my brother or my sister. That was like my choice. And I remember, that's what will always live on with me, is like that was the record that I chose, and I didn't sort of copy my older siblings.
Well, it's a classic. He's a classic artist.
Yeah, totally.
And it's the way it is. He's in his own lane.
Yeah.
And there's not many people like that. He's completely unique. So it was a buzz doing another tune, especially like 8 years after Dance With Me.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
years ago.
8 years,
Wow.
mate. That's great. I'm excited about that. That's going to be in like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks maybe. You're going to hear that.
Oh, wicked. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
excited about that. Well, let's do that then. Me, Dizzy, we'll fly over here. We'll do this again.
Let's do
Live
it.
from LA. We'll make it happen. Calvin, thank you for having us. It's been a mega evening here in Los Angeles, a great morning on Radio 1. Do you want to play your new song again?
Do I want to play it? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, what am I going to say?
Well, I mean,
Yes,
obviously
please.
you've got to say yes. So let's
please.
do it.
Please, let's do it.
Calvin, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. And here's new Calvin and Rihanna on Radio 1 again. Well, thank you, Calvin. Thanks for having us round. Thanks for the play of the record. I love the song.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I'm going to go now. It's that way, right?
Yep, it's up there past that tree.
And there's not a path. It's just...
No, you just got to climb. Use your primal instincts.
Okay.
And you'll be fine.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. That's your mic.
I'll take the mic.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye, mate.
Take
Nice
it
to
easy,
see you.
mate. Good luck.
Bye. So straight.
Yeah, just straight up past the tree, mate.
Yeah.
Should be able to get an Uber.
Yeah. And there's no stairs, no?
No.
Okay, I'll just try more. Maybe.
Yeah, just run as fast as you can.
Quite steep.
Just run as fast as you can up there, mate. Yeah. You'll be fine.
Definitely.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, keep going.
Okay, bye, Calvin.
See you later, mate.
Can't wait for the album.
Thank you. You've gone the wrong way, mate.
Is it this way?
Nah, it's up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's have a break.
It's away to the right. Yeah.
Nice view.
It's lovely, isn't it?
See Kevin Keegan's house from here.